with you for the championship of the Forest Acres Classic here on Fox Sports Radio 1400.com. Let's give you our starting lineups. Fairmont, the home team today, so we'll begin with AC Flora. They're in the home dugout, but they will be the visitors this afternoon. Donald Gillespie leading off at shortstop. He'll be followed by Josh Hernandez, the catcher. Coleman Pope is in center field. Watts Eddy is the designated hitter. Brendan Green, the second baseman. Will Loving is at first. Evans Few is in left field. Lane Botkin is at third base. And Bailey Matthews is the right fielder today for the Falcons. And on the mound for AC Flora, number 19, Charles Chapman. For the Firebirds of Fairmont, Tommy Bell leads off at shortstop. He's followed by Elliot Kurtz, the center fielder. Jared Murphy is at the hot corner at third base. Austin Warden is at first. Cheney Morgan at second base. Drew Gudgel is in right field. Jake O'Brien in left field. Ian Short is the designated hitter. And Alex Decker batting ninth and on the mound for the Firebirds as we see Decker warming up as we sit atop the first base dugout here at Falcon Field. Some clouds above us, a little dark for our taste, but fortunately at the moment we've got sunshine peeking through those clouds. AC Flora wearing the red tops, gray pants, white lettering, and white outline numbers on the front and back. Fairmont countering with a dark blue top, a gray block F on the front, gray stripes on the shoulders, numbers on the back, and gray pants as well. As Decker completes his warm-up tosses, and we're just about ready to go on Championship Thursday.
Now, we are worried about the clouds here at Falcon Field, but I think I've evicted the bees.
You have. You earned your pay.
I earned my pay. I evicted the bees. We still have honeybees, but I don't think those will bother us. I know my wife wants to have a honeybee colony, but first batter is getting ready to step into the box for the Forest Acres Classic Championship game.
That's Donald Gillespie, the shortstop, the do-it-all man for the AC Flora Falcons. A righty-on-righty matchup as Alex Decker climbs the hill. He winds and fires a first pitch, ball in the inside corner, and 2 minutes early, 3:28 time of first pitch in the championship game. So glad to have you with us. 1-0 count on Gillespie as Decker winds, and he misses up high. That ball bounced off the shoulder protector of Jake Dupler, the catcher for the Firebirds. Defensively for Fairmont, around the outfield, it's O'Brien, Kurtz, and Gugel.
Did the pitch hit him? I think the pitch did hit him.
Oh, they're going to say that one got Gillespie.
That did pop him there on the, looked like it popped him right there on the elbow, and Gillespie makes his way down to first base. Our first runner of the game.
My mistake. He stayed in the box so long, I thought that one went off of the catcher Dupler, but instead it got Gillespie. So one on for the Falcons, and Josh Hernandez, the catcher, will step in. The infield for Fairmont, Murphy, Bell, Morgan, Warden from third to first. Dupler behind the plate and Decker on the mound.
Gillespie got a three-step lead there off the first base bag.
First offering to Hernandez, swung on and fouled back right side, 0-1 count.
Gillespie, the do-it-all player for the Falcons, pitched on Monday night against Dreer, pitched 3 innings there, played third base last year, moved back over to short this season.
Had a big night last night for the Falcons as they rallied to make their way to the championship with a 1-run win over Dutch Fork. There's a grounder through the hole on the right side. The infield base hit for Josh Hernandez. Gillespie will hold it second, but 2 on early for the Falcons as Hernandez slaps it through the hole between second and first.
Falcons looking to get an early run on the scoreboard against a talented Fairmont Firebirds team. 3-0 on the season. Their first 3 games right here in the AC Flora Falcon, the Forest Acres Classic.
Of course, the championship game was moved up to 3:30 because Fairmont has to get back to Ohio tonight. They could not play the 6:30 game, so we have an afternoon title game. Coleman Pope is the batter now for the Falcons. He shows bunt and takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Pope, the top batting average in this AC Flora lineup, hitting .382 on the season. Starting center fielder for the Falcons this afternoon. Gillespie at second, Hernandez at first. Corner infielders coming in as there's a bunt laid down back to the pitcher. Decker only play to first base. He tosses it over. A nice snag made by Cheney Morgan covering the bag on a high throw from Decker. But Pope is retired, but he does a job with the sacrifice bunt, and 2 runners in scoring position now for the Falcons with 1 out.
Good job on the bunt there to advance the runners and keep the pressure on the pitcher for Fairmont.
So crucial in high school baseball to get runners on third with less than 2 outs. Because then your hitters don't have to be perfect. Just have to try to put a ball in play. Designated hitter Watts Edie steps in now. And he'll call time and jog down the third base line to talk with AC Flora head coach Andy Hallett.
Decker considered the 1B starter, I'm told, by the Fairmont coach. He is being looked at by Louisville and Cincinnati for some college, as far as colleges go. Kind of a tall right-handed pitcher, can throw about 89 miles an hour, according to his coach.
The Louisville Cardinals had a nice program, so if they're looking at you, you assume that Decker's got some talent as he skips the ball to home plate. Off-speed pitch in the dirt, 1-0 count. Watts Edie, the designated hitter. He's followed by Brendan Green, the second baseman in the on-deck circle. 2 on, 1 out in the top of the first. The 1-0 offering. Breaking ball, and Eddie could not catch it, and it's a 1-1 count.
Looked like he got out in front of there thinking fastball, pulled the string on him there a little bit.
Count evens up. Base hit will score at least 1 for the Falcons, and Hernandez can probably get home as Decker misses low and away, 2-1.
The Fairmont catcher, he does a good job framing up pitches there. So
Jake Dupler, a junior, behind the plate for the Firebirds. The 2-1 pitch ripped up the middle through the infield. That'll be a base hit. Scores at least 1. Hernandez being waved around from third. The throw cut off at the plate. And a 2-run single for Watts Eddy. And AC Flora takes an early 2-0 lead in the championship game.
And a good heads-up play there by the batter there. He's watching the whole time just in case they do overthrow it. He was going to take second base there. So smart job there for Edie as he gets the 2 RBIs and trying to be dangerous on the base path.
So Edie drives in a pair, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Falcons in the top of the first inning. AC Flora, even though they're the host team, they are the visitors in this title game. Runner on first, 1 out for Brendan Green, the second baseman. He misses on a bunt attempt. Throw down to second. Dupler with the throw, and he gets Watts Edie trying to swipe second base. A 1-hop throw to Tommy Bell, the shortstop, and the tag is laid down. And Edie is caught stealing for the second out of the inning.
Good job by Dupler there to pick up that pitch that was bouncing and throw out the runner at second base.
So an 0-1 count on Brendan Green. He'll be swinging away here more than likely as Decker misses high with a breaking ball, and the count is 1-1. Alex Decker trying to keep the deficit at 2. 2 runs on 2 hits so far for the Falcons. As that one's fouled back over the concession stand, and it's a 1-2 count to Green. Brendan Green hitting .333 on the season. He's one of 4 Falcons hitting over 300 here in the early going. AC Flora entered the day with a record of 8-5. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses high and away, just barely. Good spot there by Decker, but it's a 2-2 count.
The coach for Fairmont tells me location is the big thing with Decker. If he's in command, he's great. If not, that fastball can tail up and get tattooed. His words, not mine.
2-2, swing and a miss, a ball down low. And that will do it for the Falcons in the top of the first. But they put 2 on the board. AC Flora leading 2-0. We'll go to the bottom of the first. You're listening to the Forest Acres Classic Championship game on Fox Sports Radio 1400.com. Back at Falcon Field, Rixon Lane and Rob Sanders with you. AC Flora with a 2-0 lead over Fairmont in the bottom of the first inning. The championship of the Forest Acres Classic here at AC Flora High School. The Falcons take the field now, and we'll give you the defensive alignment for Andy Hallett's AC Flora squad. Across the outfield, they go Few, Pope, Matthews from left to right. Around the infield, it's Botkin, Gillespie, Green, and Loving. Hernandez behind the plate. And on the mound is number 19, Charles Chapman. He will face Bell, Kurtz, and Murphy in the bottom of the first inning for the Fairmont Firebirds. 3-0 on the year. This is their first game action of the season. Look at their schedule this morning. It appears they played 4 scrimmages, but as you mentioned in our game yesterday afternoon, because of the way scheduling works in the state of Ohio in their district, they could not start the regular season until this coming week. So this is their first game action, and they have made quite a nice showing for themselves as Tommy Bell steps into the batter's box. Swings at the first pitch and lines it down the right field line. It's going to drop foul about 5 feet, so Tommy Bell will make his way back to home plate.
And I was told on Sunday evening they don't like to mess with basketball season up in Ohio, so they have to wait until everything is wrapped up before they can even think about starting baseball up there, which is why their first game was actually on Monday.
They'll return to Ohio. I believe they have a 3-game non-conference series when they get back. They will start that on Saturday. The 0-1 struck and sifted to center field back to the track, and making the grab is Coleman Pope. He crashes into the wall to record the out, and Pope gets to his feet. 2 well-hit balls from Tommy Bell.
Good play there by the center fielder, though. That pitch tailed up a little bit from Chapman, the left-hander, and it was roped out there, but rescued by a center fielder. Good play, Pope.
Coleman Pope, a long run back to center field, and Andy Hallett will call time for a moment, as we're going to have a trainer jog out to center field and take a look at Coleman Pope, number 22, after a collision with that big powder blue wall out in center field. If you haven't been out to Falcon Field, the facility around the outfield, the batter's eye, and the outfield wall in general, they are huge. I mean, you could probably estimate that's probably a 25, 30-foot wall around the outfield. So a home run is not necessarily something you expect to see when you come to these games at Falcon Field. And that's the wall that Coleman Pope collided with just to the right of the batter's eye. But he has gotten the okay, gives a thumbs up into Donald Gillespie at short. There's one gone in the bottom of the first as Elliott Kurtz steps into the right-handed batter's box and takes a ball outside from Chapman. Elliott Kurtz, the center fielder, facing the left-handed Chapman. He winds and delivers. There's a check swing, grounder to short. Gillespie fields it behind the bag. Throw on to first in time. There's 2 away in the bottom of the first.
That ball down a little bit, which is good for Chapman there. So, the first 2 balls were hit pretty good by Bell. Just a routine grounder to the shortstop, Gillespie.
And after AC Flora fell behind early against Wilson Hall and Dreer, you have to imagine the Falcons would be very happy with a 2-0 lead at the end of the first inning, as they have 2 down in the bottom of the first, and Jared Murphy, the third baseman, at the plate for the Firebirds.
Murphy, the first game in the Classic, he had a shot out, almost went out.
Takes a strike on the outside corner.
And that ball in a typical park where you don't have the high walls, that would have cleared and been a home run. Ended up as a double, plating a couple of runs in the first game.
The big man over at third base as he grounds that one down the third base line, but foul. Backhanded attempt made by Lane Bakken, but that one's about 2 feet to the left of the bag, so it's an 0-2 count on Jared Murphy. Charles Chapman on the rubber for AC Flora in this title game. So he awaits the signal in from his catcher Josh Hernandez, who gets it from the first base dugout. And the 0-2 offering. Lifted high and foul down the right field line. So we'll do it again, 0-2 count. 2-0 AC Flora lead in the bottom of the first.
The sun's peeking through out there, chasing some of those clouds away.
As Chapman winds and fires. Fastball at the letter, called high. It's a 1-2 count, and the Falcons voice their displeasure from the dugout beneath us. But Chapman still ahead in the count, 1-2. Murphy calls time and sets out. A lot of chatter from each of these dugouts here in this title game. Both teams trying to wrap up a 4-0 week. The 1-2 misses low and away with a fastball, and the count evens. Cleanup hitter in the on-deck circle for Fairmont. That's Austin Warden, the first baseman. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back, and Murphy fights to stay alive.
Murphy's just waiting on that pitch. He's waiting for that breaking ball that Chapman throws, the one that Bell got a hold of there at the first at bat. Just waiting, daring him to throw it.
Chapman got through the first 2 batters on 4 pitches, but he's having to battle here against Murphy. The 2-2, high fly ball to right center. Making the call is Bailey Matthews. He'll camp under it and make the grab. 1-2-3 go the Firebirds in the bottom of the first. 2-0 AC Flora leads as we go to the second. You're listening to the Forest Acres Classic Championship game on Fox Sports Radio 1400.com.